Alright, so in this video I'm going to show you how to take out a Popup, your 2106 ST Viking pop-up camper. So the first thing you're going to do to release the lid is you're going to unhook these things, which are on all the sides. There's one on every corner. Now there's two others over there, but I've already unhooked those. So the next thing you would do is pop up the lid by cranking it. But before I do that, I'm actually going to take the awning out, because I found that once you get it up, it's stressful and difficult to get the awning out. So what I like to do is take it out beforehand. If I know I'm going to put the awning up. If you're not going to put the awning up, then skip this step. But so the awning, usually what I do as I'm unzipping it is I just hold right here in the middle so that it doesn't all fall out on me. Whenever I'm ready, I just grab it with two hands, kind of get a wide grip, and then just kind of unroll it. And so it's all rolled around this pole assembly, which has 4 different poles, 2 on either side. And I'll show you how those unhook now. So so I can just turn it over and show you. On the underside here, there are 2 separate poles that come out. One bends this way, like that, and the other one bends out. All right, so they go out like that. Now this right here will be the one that goes to the ground, and this one will go to the camper. So under here, there is a little socket there, and so you're going to pop this ball here into that socket. And I'll show you how that works. Now, this is much easier to do with 2 people than it is to do with 1 person. But what you do is stand it up, and you put the legs down like this. I like to kind of get everything out, get it ready. I need you to just hold it right there, okay? All right, Megan's gonna help me. So as I said, this is a lot easier with 2 people. So what you do is you take this socket, and it works kind of like a shower curtain. You just kind of unscrew the tension, and then screw righty-tighty, lefty-loosey kind of situation. And then under here, you're gonna pop it in. And then, once you have that, you kind of stretch it kind of as far as you can to tension this side. And if you want to come around mommy and get a good view of me.
Liam, hold it right there for me.
So what you want to do is you pull apart to tension this part, and then make sure that it's pretty solid here. This thing here slides over a little bit, but you can always kind of adjust it by, again, loosening and then pulling this over. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to go all the way out. Tighten. All right, and now this leg is ready to go up.
All right, come check mine, because I don't know.
Now this one, the way that this goes in is via this little click. Can you come around here? You see? This little thing slides up in here and clicks. So what I like to do is set it like this, and then just give it, and as I put this up, this will stay in place, okay? The only thing here is...
I got this.
Pop it out. There we go.
Liam just did that, Daddy.
Good job, Liam. Perfect. Okay, so now...
Daddy, that's not even.
It's okay, we know, Nora. Thank you, honey.
So now this is all set up. Now, at this point, the next thing I need to do is I need to put the camper up. So you want to come over here? There are 2. So if you want to, so I open up the lid, and usually in here I keep the things that I'm going to need to set up the camper. The first thing is this, which is the crank. It goes in the square hole there, and then this goes to the stabilizers right here. So I'm just going to kind of put that there for now. So what I want to do first is pop up the camper. Now I have these levels on the side, and they'll kind of give you some close idea of whether or not it's level. The best way to control the levelness front and back is through this right here. And it's good to kind of go ahead and get some degree of levelness. And the way that you want to kind of dial it in is by you start to crank it up. In fact, I'm going to go all the way up. Now one tip here is when you're about halfway up, I'm going to go in here and make sure that you don't have anything hooked in, like anything is hung on any of the beds or anything. So you just want to kind of take a look, make sure it all looks good. Okay, and now once you see everything looks good, you want to finish cranking it the rest of the way. The way you know if it's up or not is that there's this cable inside here that I currently have enclosed. There's this cable here, and this cable, when it's tight, it's all the way.
Yeah.
Okay, there it goes. Now it's just about ready. It's tall enough. So, okay, at this point, this is where you want to level it. So I don't have a level on me, but if I did, I would place the level on these flat bars here to tell if it's level this way. This kind of gives me an at-a-glance view, but this is not accurate. And then you can add the other level here on this bar across the front. So what you want is you want the camper to be as level as possible, left to right and front to back. Now, one thing to note is that the only real way to level it left and right is to put blocks underneath the tires. So you might want to kind of make sure it's kind of spot check it to see if it's level before you pull into your spot, because you don't want to try to level with these, that'll bend the frame. So, okay. Now, as you can see how high the awning is, this is why we put it up first. Now the awning is up and we don't have to worry about it. Okay, next step is to pull the beds out. Okay, at this point, you're gonna go, actually, let me get these out. Usually I put these in the camper itself. So now you're gonna get the beds out. So they just slide out. You kind of gotta tug them, but note while you're doing this, don't tug too hard. Go slow while you're doing this. If you are pulling really hard, it's probably a bad thing. If you're pulling really hard and it's not coming out, it might be caught on something, you might tear it, so be careful. All right, so what you want to do is kind of get the canvas to where it's wrapping around there, because once you pull it out like this, once I pull it to its full length, you'll see how it kind of tightens around there. That's what you need. You want that to be kind of tight. So, okay, the next step is to secure the bottom. I usually keep the securing bars under the beds, usually on the right side. I try to do something consistent so I don't have to go hunting for everything. I know where it is every time. Under here, can you put the camera there? Under here, right here, there's another one over here, but this model doesn't use that one. It uses this one here. So you put it there, and then you're gonna go underneath here and hook these. So I'm gonna pull it all the way out. There we go. I'm gonna step under here. There we go. And do the same thing over here. Note that that you might need, I usually leave this in until I usually leave the crank in until I'm done setting up, because I might need to make it go higher or lower to get the door situated. So, all right, so now that's solid. And then what you do is you go underneath here, and there are, let me see the camera here, see if I can, this. There are these hooks here. Let's see here. See if I can focus. There you go. Here, and there's another one back there, and then there's another one in the corner. And so what you do is you hook this elastic into that, like so. There you go. And then you're going to do the same thing over here. And then you're going to do the same thing over there. The front's always the hardest to do that with. So, all right. So now you can see how that's pushed out. Now, the back side is basically the exact same way. So I'm going to demonstrate on the front so that this video isn't super long. Okay, Meg, you want to take the camera for me? Let's stick it in the doorway here. All right. Whenever you set the camera up, whenever you set the camper up, this guy goes up like so. Okay. There you go. If this is not up, the lights won't come on. So once this is up, now the lights will work, which they don't right now because I'm not plugged into anything. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this out completely. The way that you do that, under the bed again, just because it's easy to keep it there, I have this guy, and this will push this out to where it's pretty solid, out like this, and then you hook it into one of these, depending on how tight you want it. So I usually do the first or second, depending on how everything's going, and so that will push it out, and now this whole section is set up. So I do the same thing over here, the exact same thing, and then it's set up, and that's it. Okay, now I'm going to show you the door. This is the most tricky, probably one of the more frustrating parts of a pop-up camper, but it is setting up the door. Okay, so Megan, can you come over here? These little guys here need to be basically flat like this whenever you're taking the door down, because they're going to go into that slot and then they're going to twist. Down here, the bottom channel of the door will hook into there, and then you wrap this around and you Velcro it. So that's how the door goes into place. I'm going to show you how to do that. It's important to hinge it the right way, or this can end up being a frustrating process. So first you kind of keep it tight to the wall and push it there. Come down. This door needs to be closed. So again, these guys here, what I'm going to do is bring them down and kind of direct them as they should go. Kind of set them here and get them ready. Now, again, these guys here have to be flat, which is kind of annoying. You can actually loosen and tighten these things, which I've done a couple times, so that they turn better. So, okay. So now that's there. It's all the way in there. As you can see, the canvas has already tried to grab the back of the door. Now the door is essentially in place here. There's only a couple more things that you do. One, you hook this so that the door is now one unit. Two, unhook here. And then three, you're gonna hook this. Usually what I do is I grab this and just kind of turn it to get it over. But sometimes you gotta kind of squeeze it tight to the frame. So you just kind of do that and then twist it. And at that point, Velcro out here, and your door is ready to go. Now, one thing about the door is it, depending on, it works better once the camper is all up.
And
so,
completely level.
Huh?
Have to make sure it's also
and
level.
completely level. It works best when the camper's up, completely level. So you kind of got to mess around with it, but that's a pop-up camper thing. Is that the door is something you got to kind of finagle with to get it to where it opens and shuts smoothly. And sometimes, you know, it'll always kind of like stick right there. But okay, I'm not leveling in this video, but once you level, at that point you want to put your stabilizers down. You don't want to put your stabilizers down until you are level. So here we go. Oh, I'm gonna put the stabilizers down like this. Usually I have the kids do this. You want to do it to where there's tension, but you don't want to do it to where you're lifting the camper up. These are not jacks, they're stabilizers. They keep it from shifting around and keep it in place. Usually I have blocks that I put under here, so I don't have to do this so far, but all right. And then I do the same thing on the other side. You don't need to see that. So do the same thing on the other side. And that's it. That's how you set up your camper. You do the same thing, obviously, over here, and then you go around. Oh yeah, these things here. You put one on either corner, and this is just in case something like the cable was to break or something like that. This keeps the top from falling down, basically.
And you put one there and one on the other side.
One here and one on the other side, diagonally. So you want to put one here and one on the back other side. So there you go. That's how you set up your pop-up camper.